Namaste, Metcalf Public School, and welcome to the MPS Daily News. Today is Wednesday, March 30th, 2021. Bonjour Metcalf et bienvenue au Nouvelle MPS. Aujourd'hui, c'est mercredi le 31 mars 2021. The news for today, les nouvelles pour aujourd'hui. Excuse me. Belonging, making needed withdrawals. Teachers and students alike. Let people talk. When we interrupt without good reason, it can be judged as rude, and oftentimes rudeness results in disconnection. In order to stay connected, listen. Listen carefully. Listen fully. Listen intently. When making decisions, a reflection, let me try this again. Make every decision as if it's a reflection of your integrity and your moral character. Let's sear that again. Making decisions that are a reflection of your integrity and your moral character. Take some time to discuss that with the class. And you'll see the quote that is beside me today, and it says, "Integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching." Love that quote because it's so true. Some information about our early First Nations. The early First Nations, before the arrival of the Europeans, First Nations, and now what is Canada, were able to satisfy all of their material and spiritual needs through the resources of the natural world around them. For the purpose of studying traditional First Nations cultures, historians have therefore tended to group First Nations in Canada according to 6 main geographical areas of the country as it exists today. Within each of these 6 areas, First Nations have had very similar cultures, largely shaped by a common environment. The 6 groups were the Woodland First Nations, who lived in dense boreal forests in the eastern part of the country. The Iroquoian First Nations, which inhabited the southernmost area, a fertile and suitable land for planting corns, beans, and squash. Plains First Nations, who lived on the grasslands of the prairies. Plateau First Nations, whose geography ranged from semi-desert conditions in the south to high mountains and dense forest in the north. Pacific Coast First Nations, who had access to abundant salmon and shellfish, and the gigantic red cedar for building huge houses, and the First Nations of the Mackenzie and Yukon River basins, whose harsh environment consisted of dark forests, barren lands, and swampy terrain known as muskeg. Which First Nations are we a part of here? Are we a part of the Woodland, the Iroquoian, the Plains, the Plateau, the Pacific Coast, or the First Nations of the Mackenzie and Yukon River basins? Discuss that with your class. Today is International Day of Transgender Visibility, and it occurs each year on March 31st. This day is dedicated to celebrating transgender people, their contributions to society, and raising awareness of discrimination faced by transgender people worldwide. I have shared some links with your teachers so that they can help have this discussion as a part of your class over the next couple of days. Today in Canadian history, in 1949, Newfoundland became Canada's 10th province. It was the last province to join the Confederation. And again, 1949, that's not too long ago. Happy birthday wishes to Braden in MFI 5-6 and Olivia in MFI 4. Happy birthday. That's our announcements for today. Merci et bonne journée. Thanks and have an outstanding day, Metcalf.